Hello everyone, today we will have a new lesson about infographics. According to the Oxford English Dictionary, an infographic or information graphic is a visual representation of information or data. An infographic is a collection of imagery, charts, and minimal text that gives an easy-to-understand overview of a topic. Infographics, a clip compound of information and graphics, are graphic visual representation of information, data, or knowledge intended to present information quickly and clearly. They can improve cognition by utilizing graphics to enhance the human visual system's ability to see patterns and trends. Similar pursuits are information visualization, data visualization, statistical graphics, information design, or information architecture. Infographics have evolved in recent years to be for mass communication and thus are designed with fewer assumptions about the reader's knowledge base than other types of visualizations. Isotypes are an early example of infographics conveying information quickly and easily to the masses. Infographics have been around for many years, and recently the increase of a number of easy-to-use, free tools have made the creation of infographics available to a large segment of the population. Social media sites such as Facebook and Twitter have also allowed for individual infographics to be spread among many people around the world. Infographics are widely used in the age of short attention span. In newspapers, infographics are commonly used to show the weather as well as maps, site plans, and graphs for summaries of data. Some books are almost entirely made up of information graphics such as David Macaulay's The Way Things Work. The snapshots in USA Today are also an example of simple infographics used to convey news and current events. Modern maps, especially route maps for transit systems, use infographic techniques to integrate a variety of information, such as the conceptual layout of the transit network, transfer points, and local landmarks. Public transportation maps, such as those for the Washington Metro and the London Underground, are well-known infographics. Public places, such as transit terminals, usually have some sort of integrated signage system with standardized icons and stylized maps. In his 1983 landmark book, The Visual Display of Quantitative Information, Edward Tufte defines graphical displays in the following passage. Graphical display should show the data, induce the viewer to think about the substance rather than about methodology, graphic design, the technology of graphic production, or something else, avoid distorting what the data has to say, present many numbers in a small space, make large datasets coherent, encourage the eye to compare different pieces of data, reveal the data at several levels of detail, from a broad overview to the fine structure, serve a reasonably clear purpose, description, exploration, tabulation, or decoration. Be closely integrated with the statistical and verbal description of a dataset. The three parts of all infographics are the following. First, the visual consists of colors and graphics. Next is the content. Statistics and facts usually serve as the content, for infographics and can be obtained from any number of sources, including census data and news reports. And last part is the knowledge. One of the most important aspects of infographic is that they contain some sort of insight into the data that they are presenting. There are two different types of graphics. Theme graphics are included in all infographics and represent the underlying visual representation of the data. The reference graphics are generally icons that can be used to point to certain data, although they are not always found in infographics. Infographics are effective, but because of their visual element, humans receive input from all five of their senses like sight, touch, hearing, smell, and taste. But they receive significantly more information from vision than any of the other four. When designing the visual aspect of an infographic, a number of considerations must be made to optimize the effectiveness of the visualization. The 6 components of visual encoding are spatial, marks, connection, enclosure, retinal properties, and temporal encoding. There are also 3 basic provisions of communication that need to be assessed when designing an infographic. First, appeal is the idea that the communication needs to engage its audience. Next is the comprehension that implies that the viewer should be able to easily understand the information that is presented to them. And retention means that the viewer should remember the data presented by the infographic. Let's proceed to data visualization. Data visualizations are often used in infographics and may make up the entire infographic. There are many types of visualizations that can be used to represent the same set of data. Therefore, it is crucial to identify the appropriate visualization for the dataset and infographic by taking into consideration graphical features such as position, size, shape, and color. There are primarily 5 types of visualization categories such as time series data, statistical distributions, maps, hierarchies, and networking. In time series data is one of the most common forms of data visualization. It documents sets of values over time. Examples of graphics in this category include index charts, stack graphs, small multiples, and horizon graphs. Next is the statistical distributions, reveal trends based on how numbers are distributed. Common examples include histograms and box and whisker plots, which convey statistical features such as mean, median, and outliers. Maps are a natural way to represent geographical data. Time and space can be depicted through the use of flow maps. Line strokes are used with various widths and colors to help encode information. Choropleth maps, which encode data through color and geographical region, are also commonly used. Graduated symbol maps are another method to represent geographical data. They are an alternative to choropleth map and use symbols, such as pie charts for each area over a map. This map allows for more dimensions to be represented using various shape, size, and color. Cartograms, on the other hand, completely distort the shape of a region and directly encode a data variable. Instead of using a geographic map, regions are redrawn proportionally to the data. For example, each region can be represented by a circle and the size or color is directly proportional to other information such as population size. Hierarchies. Many datasets such as special entities of countries or common structures for governments can be organized into natural hierarchies. Node link diagrams, adjacency diagrams, and enclosure diagrams are all types of infographics that effectively communicate hierarchical data. Node link diagrams are a popular method due to the tidy and space-efficient results. A node link diagram is similar to a tree, where each node branches off into multiple subsections. An alternative is adjacency diagrams, which is a space-filling variant of the node link diagram. Instead of drawing a link between hierarchies, nodes are drawn as solid areas with subsections inside of each section. This method allows for size to be easily represented than in the node link diagrams. Enclosure diagrams are also a space-filling visualization method. However, they use containment rather than adjacency to represent the hierarchy. Similar to the adjacency diagram, the size of the node is easily represented in this model. Networking. Network visualization explores relationships such as friendships and cliques. Three common types are: first, directed layout, arc diagrams, and matrix view. First, directed layouts are a common and intuitive approach to network layout. In this system, nodes are similar to charged particles, which repel each other. Links are used to pull related nodes together. Arc diagrams are one-dimensional layouts of nodes with circular arcs linking each node. When used properly with good order in nodes, cliques, and bridges are easily identified in this layout. Alternatively, mathematicians and computer scientists more often use matrix views. Each value has an x and y value in the matrix that corresponds to a node. By using color and saturation instead of text, values associated with the links can be perceived rapidly. While this method makes it hard to review the path of the nodes, there are no line crossings, which in a large and highly connected network can quickly become too cluttered. While all of these visualizations can be effectively used on their own, many modern infographics combine multiple types into one graphic, along with other features such as illustrations and text. Some modern infographics do not even contain data visualization, and instead are simply a colorful and succinct ways to present knowledge. Let's proceed to the tools. Infographics can be created by hand using simple everyday tools such as graph paper, pencils, markers, and rulers. However, today they are more often created using computer software, which is often both faster and easier. They can be created with general illustration software. Diagrams can be manually created and drawn using software, which can be downloaded for the desktop or used online. Templates can be used to get users started on their diagrams. Additionally, the software allows users to collaborate on diagrams in real time over the internet. There are also numerous tools to create very specific types of visualization, such as creating a visualization based on embedded data in the photos on a user's smartphone. Users can create an infographic of their resume or a picture of their digital life. Why are infographics used? Infographics are great for making complex information easy to digest. They can be helpful anytime you want to provide a quick overview of a topic, explain a complex process, display research findings or survey data, summarize a long blog post or report, compare and contrast multiple options, raise awareness about an issue or cause. Why should you use infographics? There's a reason why infographics are so popular. They are fun, engaging, and super easy to share. Plus, they have tons of benefits for all kinds of content creators, including businesses, educators, and nonprofits. For the marketers, can use infographics to drive more website traffic, increase visibility and brand awareness, and boost engagement. Educators and trainers can use infographics to explain difficult concepts or break down complex information to make it easier to understand. Nonprofits can use infographics to spread awareness about a cause or social issue. Marketing infographics. Marketers use infographics to build brand awareness and boost engagement. Marketers can use infographics to showcase your business achievements on a landing page or downloadable one-pager, send a visually striking newsletter to deliver news, showcase a new product or service, or demonstrate thought leadership. Improve their online courses or course handouts. Drive interest in social media. Share snippets on Instagram or the full infographic on Pinterest. Make a round-up infographic. Collect quotes from influencers, compile them in an infographic, and write a blog post around it. Summarize key points in a white paper or ebook. In consulting and freelancer infographics. Consultants use timeline infographics to visualize project timelines and to simplify new or industry-specific topics to their clients, such as the consultants use infographics to present data in a fresh way in client presentations, strengthen your argument and visualize timelines in client proposals, deliver progress reports to clients. Include an infographic in your report to visualize project timelines or progress by the numbers. Then, for the small business and entrepreneurship infographics, small businesses and entrepreneurs use infographics to reach new audiences and increase brand awareness. Small businesses and entrepreneurs can use infographics to create their brand style guide, highlight their offerings and past successes in flyers and brochures, promote their business, or demonstrate thought leadership on social media. Better showcase products or services and past successes on their website sales page or in a downloadable one-pager. Showcase your company's history in their website's about page, send creative newsletters, create more interesting webinars. For the government infographics, government use infographics to share statistics and census data. For the nonprofit infographics, nonprofits use infographics to promote events and raise awareness for their causes. Nonprofits use infographics to make data and information about a given cause easy to understand. This can be applied to a newsletter, social media campaign, donation page, poster, and more. Plan a campaign strategy. Show the impact of a fundraiser that can be sent to donors in an email. Highlight results in an annual report. Showcase successes in an impact report, and visualize information in crisis communications. For the education infographics, educators and trainers use infographics to make content more memorable for students and employees. Let's proceed on how to organize your information with an infographic outline. The process of creating an outline will help you organize your thoughts and ensure that your content will work in an infographic. Create an infographic outline from existing content using these 4 steps. First, determine the key takeaways of your content. Next is determine the title, headers, subheaders, and facts. Then, consider the length of paragraphs and points, and include notes for the designer. Let's proceed to types of infographics and when to use them. There's no one-size-fits-all infographic out there. Infographics are of various different types, and if you want yours to actually be effective, you need to pick a type that's aligned with your purpose and nature of content. Generally, infographics are used for one or more of the following reasons: illustrating data, present statistics, facts, and figures visually using charts, graphs, and other graphic tools; simplifying a complex subject, explain difficult concepts with the help of illustration and visual cues; drawing a comparison, visually compare 2 or more products, services, features, brands, or concepts; creating awareness, spread word about an important cause or create brand awareness and visibility; summarizing longer content, repurpose long videos, blog posts, and reports into bite-sized infographics. Once you're sure about what you need an infographic for, you can move on to selecting the right type of infographic for your needs. Here are the different types of infographics. Statistical infographics. The statistical infographics make use of typography, charts, and graphs to present research, facts, and figures in a visual way. This helps make data look more interesting and easier to digest than a bunch of plain numbers or tables. A statistical infographic can either focus on a single research or data visualization or use a mix of different visualizations to present various facts and figures about the topic. The infographic template displays data about the global penetration of social media platforms in the form of a colorful bar graph. This type of statistical infographic is ideal for using as part of a report presentation or for visualizing a statistic mentioned in your blog post. Now, take a look at the infographic template. Instead of a single visualization, it focuses on giving a statistical overview of a more general topic like technology and education. This type of statistical infographics is ideal for educational purposes and creating awareness about a subject or cause. Statistical infographics are usually less text-heavy and more data-focused. Next type is the informational infographics. Informational infographics use a mix of text and visual elements to explain or simplify a topic or guide readers through a series of steps. The example explains the concept of blockchain with the help of a colorful informational infographic, that's easy to follow and fun to read. There are usually text-heavy infographics and can be used to summarize long blog posts and videos. You can also share an informational infographic as a standalone content piece. Informational infographics usually follow a visual narrative to tell a story. This includes leveraging font size and styling, imagery, and the placement of different objects to lead the reader's eye from one point to the next in the order of importance or position. Another type is the process infographics. Process infographics usually make use of flowcharts, diagrams, and even timelines to guide readers through a series of steps or to help simplify the decision-making process. Here's an example of a process infographic template. These types of infographics are useful for giving instructions to employees, explaining a step-by-step process to customers, or for light-hearted, humorous purposes. Next is the timeline infographics. Timeline infographics are useful for presenting information in a chronological order, whether you're visually showcasing your brand history or showing how something has evolved over time. A timeline infographic can help you out. You can use a timeline infographic to creatively display your brand story on your website's About page. This type of infographic can also help you with project management purposes, such as creating project timelines. Another type is the anatomical infographics. Looking to break down and explain the different parts of something, an anatomical infographic can help you do just that. This type of infographic has a labeled diagram format which can help you highlight and explain ingredients, product parts, characteristics, personality traits, and more. Check out this anatomical infographic template as an example. Hierarchical infographics. This type of infographic usually features a pyramid to help you display different levels of information. Take a look at the hierarchical infographic template. If you want to organize information by different levels, such as by priority, importance, or difficulty, a hierarchical infographic like this one is a good way to go. List infographics. List infographics help you summarize and present list-based information. This could be a list of items, factors, and even steps to do something. Here's a list infographic template you can customize. You can use this type of infographic to sum up a how-to or listicle blog post. These infographics are also likely to get shared as they're usually straightforward and fun to read. Another type is the comparison infographics. Comparison infographics are useful for comparing multiple objects, people, concepts, products, or brands. Visually comparing ideas can help illustrate similarities and differences. Here's an example of a comparison infographic template. These types of infographics usually have a multi-column layout, which is useful for comparing and contrasting two different topics side by side. Another type of comparison infographic is a comparison chart, which compares and contrasts multiple features or brands in the form of a visual table. Here's a comparison chart template for that purpose. Location-based Infographics. If you want to showcase geographic information in a visual form, a location-based or map infographic is a great option. Map or location infographics can be used to display local, national, or global data and statistics. You can color code the map to highlight different regions and even make them interactive by adding hover effects, links, and animations. Location-based infographics make excellent visuals to add to your blog posts, reports, and presentations. You can also use them as solo graphics and share on social media to drive engagement and traffic. Next up is the visual resume infographics, wherein employers receive hundreds of resumes at a time and only a handful of them manage to stand out from the pile. If you want to take your resume to the next level, consider creating a visual resume infographic. Check out this creative resume infographic template. Resume infographics offer a refreshingly new take on the standard infographic style. They make use of visualization like radials, progress bars, icons, and arrows to illustrate skills, interests, experiences, and more. Let's discuss tips to make your infographic stand out. Now that you know the different types of infographics you can use and how to create one for yourself, here are some tips to help you take your visuals to the next level. Be original and creative. There are millions of infographics and visuals floating on the internet. If you want to get yours noticed, create something unique and different. Do some research before creating your infographic. Find out what kind of topics will appeal to your audience and what questions they might have unanswered. Search to see if there are any existing interesting visuals or infographics on the topic. If there's a topic that's already been covered before but you still want to create an infographic about it, make sure you create it with a fresh, new angle. Another tip is know your audience. The most important piece of homework you need to do before creating an infographic is to find out if it will actually work with your audience. Understand the kind of topics they like and what type of design will appeal to them. You also need to know the kind of tone that works with your audience, as you will use that to craft compelling copy for your infographic. You also need to know the social channels that are most used by your audience so you can create an infographic that is optimized to perform best on those specific platforms. Another tip is use appealing colors and fonts. Color psychology is real, and marketers all over the world rely on it to create effective designs that actually bring results. If your infographic doesn't use colors and fonts that resonate with your audience or bring your content to life, it might fail to stand out. Check out the resources put together by experts to help you choose the best colors and fonts for infographic designs, like Color Psychology in Marketing, The Ultimate Guide, and A Non-Designer's Guide to Pairing Fonts. Next tip is to illustrate text with icons and graphics. Too much text can make an infographic look boring and uninteresting. Make sure you use as many visuals and as less text as you can. One way to do that is to replace or supplement subheadings, labels, captions, and other text in your infographic with icons, illustrations, or images. Another tip to make your infographic stand out is establish visual hierarchy. Visual hierarchy is all about organizing information on your design according to the level of importance or order so that the reader's eye naturally goes from one section to the next. Establishing visual hierarchy makes your infographic design look cleaner, attractive, and more professional instead of cluttered with all kinds of information. Next, make it interactive. If you really want to make your infographic stand out, consider taking it a step further from just being a static image. So that's all for the discussion about infographics. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.